Okay, let's, is everybody ready to get started? While we're chatting here for a few minutes, letting people join, I want you to do something. I want you to take your can opener and open your cans, drain your beans. If you're corn, I'm using Mexicorn. This is Mexicorn. It doesn't have any fluid in it at all anyway, but if your corn has a lot of liquid in it, drain that. Diced tomatoes usually have a lot of fluid in them. I drained mine. And the Rotel, which I'm using the Aldi brand diced tomatoes with green chili. You don't have to drain that. Go ahead and cut your Velveeta up into chunks about this size, right there. Also, I originally had the recipe written down as 4 ounces of Velveeta, but really you need about 8. More is even better. But 8 will do it. So don't worry if you only have 4, it's okay. It'll still turn out. No horror there, but anyway, it should be 8. So I did correct that. If you're just now finishing cooking up your noodles, great, but if it's been just a little bit, check them, stir them around, because they might be clumped up. I put oil on mine, so mine aren't clumpy, but just give them a stir so they won't be clumped up. Okay, so I hope it's a beautiful day where everybody is. It's nice here. It's warm. Okay, well, let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to turn the camera around so that you can see my stovetop. I've got everything piled up here, and it'll take me just a second. Now, I don't want it to be upside down. Maybe it was upside down last week. You might see my belly in all of this. Okay, can y'all see? There's the casserole dish, and here's the macaroni. Okay. So here's the 9x13 dish, and I have gone ahead and sprayed it with nonstick spray. If you don't have any nonstick spray, that is okay. Just give it a little light coat of some kind of cooking oil. Vegetable oil, olive oil, bacon grease, butter, whatever you've got. And then take your cooked noodles, 4 cups of cooked macaroni, which I learned a little too late. I should have told you this to begin with. 4 cups of cooked macaroni is about 2 cups of dry macaroni. So, and this is this casserole will fill up this 9x13 pan. You want to spread it out kind of even. You don't have to get too crazy with spreading it out. And then I'm just going to set this aside over here off of the stove. And we're going to leave that be, and then I'm going to try to position my camera arm where you can see both of those pots. Can y'all see that okay? I'm going to assume that you can. Okay. If you're going to bake this right away afterward, then you need to go ahead and set your oven. Bake 350. Let it be preheating. Okay, got that? And then in your small saucepan, back here, we're going to put our Velveeta in there. If you're using some kind of shredded cheese, you may need to add just a tad of milk or cream or something like that to help get it going. And we're going to set the heat on low, like medium low to low. And we're going to add the Rotel tomatoes in there. Okay. And then you're just kind of gonna let that set. And then we're going to turn on the frying pan. And I'm gonna leave that pretty high. Okay. And we're going to get some oil heating in there, just a couple, maybe like 2 tablespoons. And if you bought a type of hamburger that's kind of extra greasy, you don't need to do this step, but mine is pretty lean, so I do need some extra oil in the pan. And then we're gonna let that oil heat just a second, and then we'll start putting our hamburger in there. The thing with this Velveeta is that it can get scorched to the bottom of the pan pretty easily, so you're gonna wanna keep an eye on that. All right. And then go ahead and get your hamburger going. Some people like to throw the whole thing in there and then chop it with their wooden spoon, and I like to just shred it up like this as I go. I forgot to say, I was going to say it, I hope everybody washed their hands good before we started. If you didn't, stop right now and go wash your hands. All right. Alright, there we go. Now I'm going to step over here and wash my hands real quick. Alrighty. And then you can hear the hamburger sizzling. Break up the bigger pieces. Keep your Velveeta stirred. Let it melt down. You know, this crazy way that I do my handles, that is just a kitchen safety thing left over from when my kids were small. So if you have small children that might be running through your kitchen, keep the handles turned in away from the outside so that they don't grab them and pull a hot pan off on themselves. So I know it doesn't look conventional when you're looking at it. We're going to cook this hamburger until you can see the pink is gradually starting to go away. And we're just going to cook it until the pink has just disappeared. We don't want to keep cooking it after that, because it's going to cook more in the oven. And anyway, it's done when the pink is gone anyway. And this Velveeta we're going to heat until the pieces have melted and the rotel is all mixed in good. All right. Hey, Jimmy Sue. Well, hey, James. I hope I haven't missed anybody. I'm having to bend over and look at the phone that's pointed down towards the stove. All right. All right, the pink is almost gone. And since this is being extra slow to melt, what we might do is just add it in the hamburger. So that's what we're going to do. Alright, so my Velveeta is starting to melt, but to help it melt quicker, I'm just going to pour it in here with the hamburger. It's all going the same place anyway. So, and we were going to mix it together anyhow. Alright, so we're going to do this until the Velveeta melts. Oh, I better turn off the back burner. Now y'all are going to know what I'm really like in the kitchen. Forgetting to turn off burners, setting off the smoke alarm. Alright. On your hamburger, if it looks like there's a lot of grease, you're going to want to pour that off before you add the Velveeta. But my hamburger doesn't hardly have any grease. Alright. Now, that Velveeta is almost gone. And what we're going to add is a package of taco seasoning to our meat mix. And then also some chili, pepper, and garlic powder and onion powder. We'll mix that all around. Now, if you're joining and you're vegetarian and this does not look like a good vegetarian dish to you, instead of hamburger, you can use beans or TVP. Actually, I meant to get my TVP out and put some with my hamburger, but I forgot. And that's a great substitution for this. Alright. Now we're going to add our water. That's half a cup of water. And that's going to make it pretty soupy. And we're just going to let it cook down for a minute. While it's cooking down, I'm going to take a bowl. You can see my bowl has seen better days. And I'm going to mix those diced tomatoes and my black beans and my Mexicorn together. And we're just going to mix those up good. Oh, this is really coming together quickly. We're going to be done before 30 minutes today. Okay, what we're going to do now is just let that water cook down, and that helps concentrate the flavors. That's all. A few minutes of that. Hey, Tammy. I love the colors of this tomato and corn and black beans together. I think that is so pretty. And it's just going to be really pretty when we put it on in our casserole. Alright. This is not quite thick enough, so we're going to let it cook down a little bit more. Ooh, it smells so good and I'm hungry. I think cooking is just about the most soothing thing you can do. I don't know about y'all, but I enjoy standing here and stirring things and watching them bubble and putting them together. Mostly I enjoy eating them when I'm done. Alright, I think that's about good. Alright, turn that off. Alright, now you'll want to get your macaroni pan. Now, how am I going to do this so that you can see? There we go. This handle's going to have to go this way now. Alright. So, now what we're going to do is this hamburger and cheese mix. If you kept them separate, go ahead and add them together and stir it all up. We're going to pour this onto our noodles. And you want to get all that yummy goodness out of there. Let me set this down over here. Alright, and then spread that over the top of your noodles, and you want to dig some little holes in there so that it gets down in the noodles good. If you ask me, that's the #1 crime of macaroni dishes, is when you just have a layer of noodles with nothing in them under there. Okay. You see that? Make sure you get it down in there. Okay. Now this, look how much water is left in my veggies. I don't want to pour all that water in my vegetables. I mean, in my dish. So what I'm going to do is I didn't drain those very good. So I'm going to get a big slotted spoon. If I can find one. All my slotted spoons. I don't know where my slotted spoons are. I'm just going to use a big kitchen spoon. And we're going to put those veggies over the top. Now you can substitute and leave. I'm going to leave the juices in the bottom of the bowl. You can substitute all kinds of things on top of here. Just whatever you think would taste good with a taco. Any kind of beans, pintos. Shoot, I think even black-eyed peas would be good on there. If you like the chopped green chilies, those are really good mixed in here too. Add a little flavor and spice. I picked the black beans, corn, and tomatoes because I like those colors together, and I think it makes it look really nice. Okay. I think it's important to know that not everything goes right in the kitchen, and you just gotta drop back and punt when that happens. So like, if you didn't drain your stuff good enough, that's okay. It's no problem. We'll just do it now. We just don't want that in this dish because it would make it a real loose, sloppy dish after it's baked. All right. So I got that taken care of. And now I'm gonna spread my cheese on top. And then we're just gonna stick it in the oven and bake it. You can hold off baking this. You could wait for a day or so. So like if you wanted to make this tomorrow for dinner, just stick it at this point, stick it in the fridge with some tin foil on the top. And then tomorrow just pop it in the oven, and that would be a quick dinner. It freezes really good, and it saves really good too. It'll be good for about a week. So I'm gonna turn the camera back around so you can see me. I know that's what you wanted to see, right? Hey, Brinkley! Let's see. Sorry for showing you my hand. There we go. Oh my goodness. Technical difficulties. Alright. There. Alright, well I'm going to stick this in the oven, and it will stay in there at 350 for about 35 or 40 minutes, and then it's ready. So, and we have 23 people. Hey everybody. So did anybody have any questions? Did I miss any questions? Is it gonna let me look? Oh, there's Emily. She says Zenny and she are both watching. Oh, from Django's Facebook. Well, hi Burgess family. Let's see here. Richie's watching. Hey, Richie. Yeah, I agree, Joanna. You cannot go wrong with Velveeta and Rotel. All right, and then I think I saw all the other ones. Or did I? Let me double check. Okay. Yep. Okay, so that's it. if y'all have any questions, or you know, what else might you need to know? What this goes with? Salad would be the number one thing I could throw together. A quick salad and probably some garlic bread. Quick dinner. You can also try any green vegetable, Brussels sprouts, asparagus, green beans. Those would all be good with this. Anything you'd have on Taco Tuesday. Johnny Lou, it's good to see you too, although I can't really see you. And Lynn asked, can you substitute tomato sauce for the tomatoes there? Yeah, I think you could. However, it might make it a little more soupy. So you could do another can of Rotel. That would be good. Thanks for the hearts, you guys. That was great. So yeah, I would do another can of Rotel or fresh tomatoes, or even another can of beans. So, okay. Well, that's it, y'all. I think we were actually cooking for about 23 minutes, and then this will go in the oven for another 35 or so. And you'll have dinner ready. You can top it with green onions and sour cream. Those are great on top of it. Anything you like, more cheese. Some white queso, chips, or maybe even serve it with some flour tortillas. So, okay, well that's it. I'm gonna turn it off now. I am so glad you joined me. Let's see, what else did I want to tell you? I wanted to ask you to join me on my podcast with my daughter Sarah. It's called Dorks with Sporks, and you can find that any place where you get podcasts from, or you can go to the Dorks with Sporks website. It's dorkswithsporks.com. And then, of course, I'm going to keep doing these Facebook Lives until we're all not quarantined to our houses anymore. Next Sunday, we'll do some dressed up ramen noodles. And that is really simple too, and you'll be able to use what you've got at home. So be thinking what you might like to have in a bowl of ramen. Chicken or corn or boiled eggs or whatever you might like to have. I'll put a post up to give you some ideas, and we'll do that next week. And you just have however many, you have packets of ramen noodles for however many people you're serving. So I know that won't be more than 10. Anyway, y'all, thanks. I love you. Thank you for coming, and I'll see you next Sunday. Bye-bye.